Hello, everybody, and welcome to Zeitgeist. 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 The Gears of Revolution. I don't have a bit planned tonight, but I am your DM, Redbeard. Joining me, as usual, is Sam playing Jack.
I was sick for 4 days.
Alright. Catherine playing Mina.
I'm gonna murder my cat.
Aw, poor kitty.
Oh, don't poor kitty him.
James playing Ilferi.
Yar, I've only known troubles for a week, but if anything happened to him, I kill everyone in this room, and then myself.
And Carter playing Zeodor.
I'm totally not looking at Reddit right now.
What are you looking at there, Zeodor?
Zeodor is looking at some files.
Of people struggling to do mundane things. He just wants to improve people's lives and needs some inspiration.
Before the show starts.
Yeah.
When the show starts.
We just discovered r/where did the soda go?
I am surprised that you guys didn't already know about it.
Oh, I know about it.
I don't Reddit, dude. I purposely stay away from this shit.
Yeah, you can kind of lose yourself for a long
I
time.
spent like an hour on our creme posting today.
Yeah.
I love our crib posting so much.
Anyway, last time
Custom files both
on
this year, fuck yeah.
Yay!
last time on Zeitgeist, our constables had continued their investigation into figuring out what.
Con unstable.
You guys got pretty good con scores, I think, right? Strength scores you're
yeah.
lacking.
Mine's 14. No, our charisma score is what's lacking.
Oh, is that it?
Con unstable.
Huh?
We continued trying to track down what exactly happened to a certain half-elf who found herself impaled on the spiked fence of a consulate. And things have spiraled out from there in lots of different directions across the entire city. I think you guys have been to every district now.
Not Pine Island yet.
Ah,
Haven't been out to the Pine Island.
yeah.
Have we been to the Nettle?
No, you're right. We avoided the Nettles.
Oh, yeah.
I think we went.
You might have stepped a foot or two into the nettles.
Yeah, I think we went through the Nettles because we went from Parody Lake to Cloudwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had to go through the Nettles slightly, technically,
We didn't talk to
to
anyone
do
there.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
actually do any business there, but we
Yeah, not yet.
And working late into the night on a stop off at a tavern, the group decided to call it the investigation for now and take a much needed rest, and are now returning to the office, chipper, bright-eyed, and
I do have a
bushy-tailed.
note written. At Rise, Zeodor wants to know about the fire gem shipments.
Yes.
I also have something that happens
I wrote it
that
down.
night.
Lamers Lake?
taking out the trash.
No,
Taking out the trash. at
something
night.
theater, Parody Lake, HBO.
Oh, yeah.
That's my thing tonight.
Yes.
I guess, yeah, I'll go over that again after we take care of...
James was saying he had something he wanted to do during the night, right?
Well, yeah, he's got his visions.
I am a sky seer.
Right.
So I have a question to ask, which I told you earlier, but I'm going to say for
Yeah.
the sake of everyone here. So I am going to gaze into the stars and bequeath upon them the answer to my question, which is, who should I speak to get the most relevant information regarding the death of Nalasa Hume?
And as you gaze upon the stars, which have been clouded lately, as Navard Sechem has said, you don't get as clear of a response as you sometimes get, but you do see a face. I'm trying to find it so that I can describe it.
This person has a face.
Has face. Write it down.
Got it.
Face
Will travel.
W/hair.
Thought he had a picture in here. Oh, there it is at the very end.
Oh, male.
Male.
Male face. There you go. He has dark hair and a mustache. Seems to be in his late 30s. Oh, and a goatee.
Okay. Did the stars just give me a prison sketch? I mean, not a prison sketch, but like a police sketch.
I mean, kinda, I guess.
A prison sketch. It's done in a tattoo on another inmate's body.
Oh, okay. That's not what I wanted.
I guess I could just send you the picture if I make a new handout without the name on it.
I have a suspicion that I think I suspect I know who it might be.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see.
I
I guess we'll die.
Handout.
It's not Roger Porter, who is actually the person I thought I had a description of, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyways.
There. I'll show this to... God damn it. James N.
Hey, that's me.
All right. Anyway.
Oh, Man from Vision. Okay.
There you go. So that is what you see in your vision from your Skyseer trait. During the night. And then
I don't know Minor Illusion. Crap.
Theodore, you said you wanted to do something in the morning on your way to the office before meeting up with the others?
Yes. Early in the morning, I want to go down to the docks and ask if there are any... ask about any known shipments of it was fire crystals, right? Fire gems.
Yeah.
Fire crystals or from something else.
Every Final Fantasy game.
Fair enough.
The fire crystal's under attack!
JRPG.
Yeah, we can even broaden that. Give me a I don't know, some sort of an investigation might be the best fit.
Okay. Yeah, I'll roll investigation.
Or you can make it a charisma based check if you want to be like talking to people.
The this one on the die says it's not really gonna matter much.
Okay.
So I got a 6 investigation.
Yeah, it's really chaotic down here this morning. You're like trying to flag down some of the people you might have known here and talked to in the past, but those people don't seem to be here, and everyone else is just kind of too busy to stop and help you right now.
All right. Well, I'll come back later, and hopefully it won't be too late. Shrug.
Okay.
go to the office because I don't want to spend too much time on this because if I do, it'll get suspicious. And like I said, I don't want to blow up the spot.
Fair enough. And then final order of business, we kind of did it briefly with Jack at the end of last session, but a man pulls him aside as he's coming in to the office and tells him that somebody has information about where to find the doctor that they've been looking for, who was last seen at the crime scene. And he said for you guys to meet them.
Lambert's Theater and Parody Lake.
There you go.
Oh, not alone. Well, I mean, we don't know this yet, so.
He didn't specifically tell me to come along.
Therefore, not alone.
Bring your friends. It'll be a party.
No, Parody. Parody Lake.
That's why we're married.
Yeah.
All right. And they I don't know if I noted this last time, but he described it as a neutral location.
Being that I live in Parody Lake, would I know of Lambert's Theater?
Give me a history check.
Holy shit, I actually rolled something well.
It will be useless.
Yeah, of course. 22.
You have heard rumors that you don't recognize the name of this theater by just the name, but you have heard rumors that Kel runs his guild out of a theater.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We have the Kel
that's-
Guild and we have the family, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
the family is the Crystal Leary ones.
Gotcha.
What time did we get up in the morning and meet at work?
Let's just say 8 for sake of simplicity.
Yeah.
Unless you
'cause
guys-
we would be coming in at least fairly early because we know we're on the clock with this.
And you stayed out pretty late, so I feel like 8 o'clock is probably the earliest that you could have had gotten home, had an 8-hour sleep, and then gotten here.
Yeah.
My commute to work is actually faster than my commute home, which is interesting and fun.
Why is that?
I can glide down to work, but I can't glide up.
Oh. I just love the idea of like Ilfera being like, "Well, see you guys," and then like climbing up to the roof and like.
He just like T-poses his way down.
Carries a collapsible ladder everywhere he goes.
Look, there's a reason I'm good at athletics, guys. It's to climb
Climbs
shit that I can
everything.
jump off of.
Oh. Okay, so it's 8 a.m. and we are all back at the office.
Yes.
I've just started writing down times in all of my D&D notebooks for whatever the DM says, so that later when they try to screw us out of time, I'm like, no, you said.
Uh-oh. Well, I mean, I was doing the same thing last time, actually.
So,
I have this whole
as
list
we're
of
walking
times that you guys were doing shit last time.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it takes us 30 minutes to get between tricks, right?
If Zeodor's with you.
in, when I walk in,
Yes, it
Yeah,
normally takes
I would
1
be.
hour, but Zeodor's ability means 30 minutes.
Yeah.
so as I walk in and find the three of you there, I'll be like, well, we got a meeting at 8 o'clock tonight.
PM? Because, like, it's 8 right now.
Yeah, I said tonight.
Okay.
That seems a little
Lambert's
suspicious.
Theater in Parody Lake.
And
Supposedly they'll have some info about this this doctor we're looking for.
And with whom are we meeting?
Not entirely sure. Just got invited to this by a man in an alley, as most meetings go. But
Right.
I believe it may be connection to Kel's Guild. They usually run out of, the word is they run out of the theater in Parody Lake, so this means that.
Okay, come armed, expect books. Go then.
Yeah, he said neutral ground, but stay on your toes.
I mean, they are criminals, so yeah. They are criminals, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just
The-
making sure that I wasn't mixing up some people. calling a reputable family a bunch of criminals or something like that.
No, most of the people we've met are criminals. It's like criminals and like Denoran ambassadors, and that's
Yeah,
it.
we met like criminals and politicians.
And
so
one of
criminals.
those Denoran people also a criminal.
Shit.
Treason.
You know, I'm really on the side of the criminals most of the time, though.
There's a decent chance that at least one of them is a murderer, so possibly multiple
I don't
criminals.
remember what it was.
Huh?
What the fuck?
My HP is saying it's 14, and I don't remember what my original total was.
Hey, hang on.
That's
Let me look at the overlay and see if it still says.
Mine
No, the
says
overlay showed 14 as well, actually.
28,
Damn
and
it.
I'm pretty sure that's right. So
Please
mine's
don't
fine.
stream.
Huh.
So.
Maybe that seems like just your con score plus your first level of wizard.
That's
Yeah.
weird. Let me see if I can fix this. Go on ahead, Chris.
Okay. Well, I mean, actually, the ball's in you guys' court. I don't know.
Okay,
Where you wanna head
well,
first?
We have,
Oh,
I
so
actually-
yeah, let's go over the threads that we have at the moment.
yeah, so we have a connection in Pine Island, specifically in Goodson's Estuarial Reformatory,
Right?
for the two inmates there, Fort Sorghum and Travis Starter, who had
Mhm.
some connection to Nalasa.
Right.
We also have a thread in the Nettles with the Kells, which are with the gang, the local gang, the Kells, which have been having a territory dispute with a foreign gang called the Family.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the mayor. I don't know if you mentioned him.
Right, the mayor of the Nettles.
Yes.
Right.
Mayor of the
Giving us
Netherlands.
access to Cauldron Hill, which Navard wanted.
Yes. Because he's dying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's a Sky Seer.
OMG!
What? I actually have OMG with a little face with a wide open mouth and big eyes in my notebook. Next to that little revelation.
Do
the
we
Sky
have?
Seer's dying, and then I'm gonna die. Oh my,
Oh my god. Hard to do in sync
there-
screaming over VoIP.
Let me know if this sounds weird. Are there police sketchers here? Like
Yeah,
that
you
I
could
could describe a person?
you could probably get
drawing?
access to that.
Okay. I want to describe the person that I saw in my vision to get like a physical thing of it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That sounds good.
And then also ask if we have any records on someone who looks like this.
Sure.
Oh, while, because I'm assuming that's going to take some amount of time.
Yes.
While he's doing that, can I check on the evidence that we turned in last night?
Yeah.
Because we submitted some of it for analysis. I want to see if they turned anything back. They might not have by now because it hasn't been very long, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do both of those things. So Affair, you're able to track down the I don't know, are they just called a sketcher or I don't know.
Sketch artist.
Sketch artist. There's someone in the office that the RHC uses. and you're able to sit down with them. That you pull them aside, and they start working with you to build this profile.
I think a police sketcher would be a pair of sensible pumps that can arrest people.
Meanwhile, Zeodor, you go and check in with the
lab?
The lab. Sure, I was trying to think of
Fantasy-
forensics.
fantasy lab.
Yeah, whatever. You check in with them. You turned into them the sample of the oil you found at the House of Blue Birds, right?
No, I turned in
Just the rag.
Yeah, I turned in the rag, and I turned in the chocolates that were laced with fey pepper.
Oh, that's right. And didn't you turn in the vial from the potion as well?
No,
I did,
I'm
yes.
keeping that. Oh, sorry.
I had a vial of a potion that I think we suspected was invisibility.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's right. I remember that happening now. I was thinking of a different file.
Okay. Cool. So the chocolates.
Or more specifically, the fey pepper. I wasn't that interested.
Well,
in
yeah,
chocolate.
yeah. There's not too much that they...
When we turned in, the guy seemed convinced that there was at least a chance that they could figure out what market the fey pepper came from.
Okay, so they run some analysis and they return a report saying that this composition is similar to others that they've found recently. This source seems to be somewhere in Pine Island.
Okay. All right. So we have another.
Pine Island drugs.
Yeah. So we, the fey pepper likely came from Pine Island, so we have another connection there. All right.
The did you
go
have a
ahead.
follow-up?
Not directly.
Okay. The potion among the composition of the ingredients is a brackish water that also suggests a similar origin of Pine Island.
But the other thing I wanted to ask about was the oil sample from the House of the Blue Birds. The reason why I haven't turned it in was because I've been keeping an eye on it.
Oh, right. You've got it on your person.
Right. So I want. Well, I had locked it up overnight.
Okay.
But I want to go retrieve it now.
Okay.
And specifically, I want to look to see if it has started developing any specks of light.
It has not.
Oh, for the record, I do have troubles with me.
Okay. Duly noted.
Yeah, he kind of hangs onto my back when I glide to work.
Actually, that would affect your aerodynamic ability.
Fuck you, it's magic, and I'm a bird.
You're a chicken.
Pretend this is a sketch.
Sorry.
Oh wow! What an incredible sketch.
Yeah, they even took time to color it in and everything.
Wow.
Mike's been really putting in his time.
Has he been going to the learning annex after work?
So,
This is
Yeah.
very impressive.
I actually
those
had the
life
intel.
He's really trying to get on your
Like,
good side.
really, really paying off.
I did want to make it a point of having troubles, like, watch how he does it. I think he might have an interest in art.
Oh my god.
I just want to give him options, you know. I want him
I
to.
can't wait for Troubles to become the Mary Sue of the campaign.
Right?
Does Shrubbles have the strength score to pick up a pencil?
Yeah,
That's the question.
he's got a 3 strength.
What's his dexterity?
8.
But what can you even do with the 3? Like, it's so far beyond like normal human limits that there's not like a good
Yeah, what's a
go-to for what that
What
means.
can a cat
what's a
pick up?
creature with a strength of 3?
A cat, I believe. Let me just look it up real quick.
Yeah, you can probably set filters.
Cat has 3 strength.
All right, well there you go. Could a cat draw?
Well, a cat has a 15 dex, and I feel like a cat would have a real hard time with a pencil.
This is one of those cats with the extra digit, maybe.
Look, my
Hemingway cats?
he has
Yeah.
plenty of appendages to hold onto things with. He doesn't have paws.
Though I suppose technically you just used your charisma score anyway, so
Hmm?
if you're doing a performance check.
Oh yeah, that's a 6.
Shrubbles is great.
Okay.
I
Anyway,
think it's a typo. I think it's supposed to be 60, but technically it says 6.
it does indeed. All right. So we've got a sketch of the man from Ilfari's vision. We've got some analysis from the illicit materials pointing towards Pine Island somewhere.
So now we have 3 leads in Pine Island, which is the origin of the drugs, the origin of the bottle, which are most likely connected, and Goodson's estuarial reformatory.
Wait, origin of the bottle? What bottle? My
the,
bottle?
Potion
Yes.
bottle.
The,
Oh, okay.
the origin of the potion really is what we care about. The bottle we care a little bit less about. So it sounds like the meeting tonight is, because that's in Parody Lake District, is, and probably has something to do with the cows, is going to bring us over to the Nettles. So the real choice that we have right now is, do we want to go to Pine Island now and then go over to the Nettles later, which potentially delays us getting to Cauldron Hill, or go to the Nettles now to try to open up Cauldron Hill as soon as possible, but that's a less efficient route because we've got to move back and forth across Central in extra time.
I feel like the earlier we talk to the mayor, the more likely we'll be able to get an audience with him. Later in the day, he might have more people trying to speak with him.
Or
I don't
we
think
go
it-
half go one way, half go the other.
That's true.
That's a
Let's
good point.
split up, gang.
I would like to go to Pine Island. I have some connections there from my time at the academy, and I feel like I could be more useful there.
Alright.
I'm interested in going to the
Let's
Nettles.
Send a message to the mayor saying that we'll be around later today, and then go to Pine Island.
What does the mayor look like? I can send a message. An animal message.
Or we can just send him a message with the marks of the constabulary that carries weight.
But then it's not being delivered by a rat.
Saying this out loud.
We
Jack's not wrong.
could
I-
also do both. I don't know why we would, but we could. We could write the note with the seal and then hand it to a squirrel.
I just didn't know how hasty a, regular letter delivery would be.
I mean, if we send a runner,
Yeah, you'd have access to orphans or official
Police officer there with
or official RHC runners, or
official RHC orphans.
somewhere in between.
Almost.
They've got the branded stamp on them and everything. It's like the Disney seal of approval.
That we have to cut off when they reach adulthood because they're no longer one of our orphans. Like that's. You can't just let anyone out there and look like they're official.
Yeah, I know. If you stay in the system long enough, we do eventually hire you. Like,
But it is a permanent tattoo that just says the word orphan in large letters.
RHC official orphan.
If you get
Sorry,
adopted-
Royal Homeland Constabulary.
Oh man, you actually said the initials for once.
I know. I'm so disappointed in myself.
Okay. So it sounds like we're sending a message to the mayor and then going to Pine Island.
Sure.
Cool.
All right.
Who's writing the note?
Me.
Cool.
Trouble.
Who has the best
wants
handwriting?
to help?
I feel like the boys are not going to have as good a handwriting as Mina.
Wow.
Zeodore has
Maybe Zeodore.
One working arm and grew up on a ship.
And he writes like he's still on a ship.
Does his fucking hand have two legs?
I'm saying he didn't do a lot of writing as a kid, but then again, he was in school for longer than
That's what I was gonna say, you
Ilferi
did.
has been alive.
That's not really saying much.
I think Mina will do it.
Yeah.
She's got two working hands. And she's semi-ambidextrous.
Troubles is gonna keep an
Oh
eye
yeah,
on
that's
that.
true. You do use both your hands most days.
I can use both my
I
hands.
was watching my buddies die in a war before Ilferi was alive.
Alright, so...
Might be a fast learner.
What was the mayor's name? I wrote
Does
it
anyone
down.
else have it? It's Reed McBannon.
Somewhere. Yep, I do have it. I just didn't get there yet.
I had it too.
Mayor McBannon. I didn't have his first name. Alright,
Reed, yeah.
alright.
Oh man, that'd be a good plant name too.
Reed.
I gotta get another one of those pots.
Oh my god.
No, the best part about this is that we've already established that the plant hangs on to Ilferi on his way to work. So soon, it's just going to look like a massive flying plant running down the hillside.
At some point, we're gonna have to stop them because they've been slowly infiltrating and taking over the entire Royal Homeland Constabulary.
Oh my god.
It'll be more efficient.
And
I'm gonna have to
become the
ban
giant
Pot of
abomination
Awakening.
No, don't ban Pot of Awakening. Trouble needs a brother or a sister.
I mean, the question, the like flavor question there is, how many pots of awakening does the RHC actually have?
Enough.
One.
Alright, so...
Turns out.
I will write a letter to the mayor, give it to an official runner, branded orphan or otherwise, and have it sent to the mayor.
Alright.
The note.
See, this is why we need fans, because if we actually had them, there would be somebody at Gen Con with an RHC official orphan t-shirt.
I just want fan art of this.
Get on it, fan.
Alright.
The one that's watching this. You're the
That's
only
me.
one.
That might also be me. Yeah, that's also
Anyway,
me.
I write the letter, send it up.
What is in the letter?
Mr. Mayor McBannon.
Good start.
Uh,
Strong.
We wish to.
No. 4 members of the Royal Homeland Constabulary will be stopping by shortly after noon today, and they need your assistance on a matter in regards to a unusual death.
Alright.
Signed, Mina
You hear a whooshing sound as the RHC branded orphan runs down the street.
And when the orphan comes to the door of the guy's house, he's, "You got mail."
And that orphan's name was Bill Gates. No relation.
Oh, I was gonna say his name was AOL.
Andrew Oswald Leopold.
There you go.
Oh, I mean, that just kind of sounded like an elf name to me. Like OEL.
AOL. AOL, son of Eowyn. Wait.
Oh my god.
Alright. So, we are headed off to Pine Island then?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
And we have 3 threads, but 2 of them we don't actually know where they are, so I think we're heading to Goodson's first.
Sounds like a plan.
Because we actually have, like, a location for that.
That is in this thread.
But really, now that it's been said, when we go to Gen Con next year, I want all of us to have group t-shirts that say Royal Homeland Constabulary Official Orphans. Just putting it out there.
That would be amazing.
I'm in.
So hard to explain.
I'm sure some people might recognize.
Here's the thing, everyone there's nerd enough to, like, if you just say it's a joke from my D&D game, they'll be like, oh, cool.
I'm sure somebody
true.
might recognize the Royal Homeland
RHC.
Constabulary.
If you watch my streams.
Well, no, I mean this is a pretty popular module.
I know.
But
At least it was.
The official orphans are not in the official material.
No.
That's
As it
our
turns out, that
edition.
is not official
Orphans
content.
are unofficial.
Hey, you guys don't
It's
know
a
what's in
fan
these
mod.
books.
I'm gonna take a wild guess.
Orphans of the Royal Homeland Constabulary.
I think
This is our ROM hack of Zeitgeist.
it's a randomized version.
I do not want to play random D&D randomizer. Like,
I do. You want to play a D&D randomizer?
Okay, I do want to point out for the prestige section of the player's guide, one of the Flint favors that you can perform is urchins to watch a street for you
Yup.
as an example. So I think that's as close as you get. Anyway, you guys are headed to the place named Goodson Estuarial Reformatory. Estuarial Reformatory. Got it in one.
Yep, perfect.
yeah, you did. Good job.
Big Redbeard, that's what we call you.
Oh man, I think I told you about this, Sam, but you guys should watch One Shot of the Dead, or One Take of the Dead. I forget.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's a
Yeah.
Japanese flick, right?
Yeah, you
I
don't
saw
don't
some guys-
don't look up anything about it. Just go watch it.
Recommendation from some other guys I like.
Yeah,
I will be checking it out.
yeah. Anyway,
Is it all one take?
you should watch it and find out.
Only one take.
Okay.
Sam already knows too much.
You know too much.
Anyway, Goodson Estuarial Reformatory.
Wow.
It's in the story already.
A small bird flies by. Oh look, it's the estuarial Oriole.
It's literally just gonna be dumb jokes.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
I am too. It's
Um,
for Christmas.
So this is a pretty recent addition to the city. Only a few months ago, you guys remember hearing about it in the papers. You might have seen it as you kind of walked along the bay. This basically a rich guy decided he wanted to try this experiment to build a prison out of a series of boats out in the bay. I think there's about a dozen Yeah, about a dozen ships moored together, anchored in place, no rigging or anything. A few weeks ago, you guys heard about there was a third ship, or a 13th ship, I mean, that burned down after something that happened with a prisoner. You
Burned down, you said.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay.
Actually, I mean, if you want to give me a history check, maybe you know more about that.
Yeah. I'll
I'll
roll
give it a
it.
shot.
Yeah, I'll do it.
9.
11.
Oh no! 9/11. 20.
Oh.
That one.
Man, Jack seems to have his pulse on the
His pulse on the finger?
No, it spells on the figure.
his pulse on the finger of the criminal element tonight. There was a tragic fire allegedly after one of the prisoners agreed to testify against one of his old accomplices, as the story goes.
Do we have any more details on who he was supposed to testify against?
Nope.
Alright.
Um,
Catherine, tell me not to make the joke.
Don't make the joke.
Okay, good.
Thanks. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I assume not great.
Presumably you got some info from the office before heading out, so you know kind of where you're supposed to go to be brought onto the ship, or onto the...
Yeah, I imagine there's some kind of shoreside
Mhm.
something.
Yeah, there's a
You
ferry.
know, just row up to the boats and be like, "Can I come visit?"
There's a rowboat that brings over visitors or new prisoners, staff, police. And you guys find the ferry, explain who you are and that you're requesting permission aboard, which isn't too difficult. Brief check of credentials, and you're on to the boat.
Do we have a little bit of trouble since Troubles has no paperwork?
I was actually gonna say, Shovels doesn't have paperwork. He might have pretend to be a shrub outside.
Oh no, we have to throw shovels out.
Well, if he stands still, he is just a bush, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Helper
One of
also
his-
doesn't have paperwork, but he technically qualifies as a carry-on.
yeah, I think so. As you approach the boats, you see they all have a fresh coat of paint that's been smeared dark at the waterline with something that's been floating around the barges that you can probably guess.
This is why this is a bad idea logistically speaking.
There's probably a couple bad ideas about this, but a rich guy had a bunch of money and wanted to do something.
And he's trying to do something good.
For-profit prisons aren't really
Well, we don't know if it's for profit yet.
I don't really see how it could be a good thing. Like, at best, this is Arkham Asylum. And that's not a good place to be.
How the gentlemen we be visiting, how long are they incarcerated for?
Who are you asking?
The guard.
I just row the boats, man.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, we're on board the, like, actual prison ship, right?
I was getting to that.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I assumed we'd meet the warden when we got there.
Okay, that was who I wanted to ask. I just brain went blank.
Sure.
In fact, as you get onto the boats themselves, you are greeted by none other than Derek Goodson, who introduces himself. No, he doesn't have a face.
Oh, that's a real shame.
Oh
I
shit.
guess this is gonna blow up in our face. This doesn't exist.
Welcome aboard. I am the director of the reformatory, Derek Goodson.
Pleasure to meet you.
What can I help you fine officers with today?
We're here to question two of your inmates, a Ford Sorghum and a Travis Starter.
Oh, well, that shouldn't be a problem. We can figure that out for you. Is this your first time aboard the Goodson Estuarial Reformatory?
Indeed it is.
Ah, well,
Yes.
I hope that we make a good impression on you. My father really believed in this dream, and it's so breathtaking to see it come true. We really try to treat our prisoners the right way here, and give them activities to keep them busy and occupied. We believe that's the best way to keep them from acting out and in violence and other manners.
Can I make an insight check on that?
Sure.
I think that's James' new catchphrase.
Something seems fishy. But maybe
I'm
not
a-
that fishy. 11?
Yeah. Like, I as a player want to ask so many questions here, but none of them are what Theodore would ask in this moment. So.
Yeah, same thing with Jack.
Yeah.
He seems sincere.
Mhm. And what was your vision? Just reform for criminals that aren't sailors, I'm assuming?
We're very good
Keep a
freemen.
sailor on a boat, they'd be too happy.
We saw it as a way to take care of a couple of problems at once. We can take decommissioned ships and repurpose them in a way that can benefit society. We can have dangerous or protected individuals brought out here so that they can be away from society while giving them something productive to do in the meantime while they serve their terms.
You mentioned dangerous and protected. Is that why Ford and Travis? Is that why Sorghum and Starter were brought out here? Or were they considered particularly dangerous? Or
I'll have to pull up their files to be certain, but they don't ring a bell as any of our more dangerous clientele.
While you're looking at it, or when you do look at it, could you also let us know, like, how long they are incarcerated for?
Yeah, I can run that for you. Would you like me to get a room for them for you, or would you like to look at the reports first, or?
Let's go ahead and look at the reports first. We can go with this with as much information as possible.
Okay. So they take you to an office. He introduces a secretary, and they, run back, and he tells them the files to pull. They come back with the profiles on these two. They seem to have some similar stuff from what you already knew with Nalasa, some smuggling, there's some larceny, which is what they were put away for. There's mention of a plea deal that they denied to try to turn in an accomplice, or to rat out an accomplice.
Is there any mention of why they were brought here if they're just in for larceny?
No. They don't seem to be that special of a case. It kind of seems like or you might get the feeling that since this is such a new novel thing, they kind of are trying to bring in inmates to kind of prove that they can, that to prove it's legitimate.
Got it. They just got unlucky.
Or lucky.
We're very lucky.
I mean, you've seen some people kind of around as you've been here, and it doesn't seem like a bad situation for people.
Is the I forgot his title already. The warden still here with us?
Director, I guess is what they officially call him. But yeah, he unless you send him away, he'll.
Okay, cool.
Be here.
So, what made you think of this as your first option?
I'm sorry?
Why prisoners? Why not, homes for the homeless, or rebuilding the ships, or any sort of thing? Why housing criminals?
I suppose you'd have to ask my father to be perfectly certain, but he's... it seemed to be something that he'd wanted to do for the city to help with the reformatory programs here in the city, and it seemed like a interesting endeavor.
And if it were up to you, is this what you would have done? Do you totally agree with his vision?
No, as much as any son can.
I'm not saying it's a bad one. I'm just wondering if this is your ideal situation for it.
You keep bringing up your father.
Well, you keep asking about his program, so.
But he's not running it. So
Well,
it's your program.
In a manner of speaking, I suppose.
Fascinating as this is, we do need to question Sorghum and Starter. We have an appointment to keep.
Oh, how long are they incarcerated for?
Oh, right. Because that should be in the file.
Yeah.
If it's not in the file, that's hella suspicious. Release date question marks?
Release date 2 weeks. It's always 2 weeks away.
Release date, and then somehow it's a gif of the play Annie.
I was gonna make a Les Mis joke.
Oh.
Ooh, that's good.
Both good.
Yeah.
Both excellent. So proud of you.
I know.
Is anyone in the prison singing "Look Down"?
Too far, Carter. They
Is
were
it?
building boats. They weren't on water.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe they're manual labelers rebuilding the boats.
I don't think it
From the
says.
inside on the water. Rad.
Yeah.
I don't think it says exactly, but
I'm wondering if it's in the scale of weeks, months, years.
I think it's in the scale of years, like a few
Yeah.
years maybe.
Because it has to have been a while because they were picked up when Nilasa was picked up.
Yeah.
Which was this year. It was like 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They were picked up 85 spring.
And it's now 85 like fall.
It's summer right now.
It's
It's
early
like
summer.
it's to summer.
Oh, okay.
So they were picked
Oh,
up.
right. It is number of days in the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were picked up last season.
They were picked up like 2 weeks ago.
How long do seasons last?
90 days.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, they were.
Like,
Yeah, okay. So
last
they've
week.
not been here long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, lead the way.
Yeah, let's go.
Do you want separate interrogation rooms, or do you want to see them together?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could interrogate them together and then separate.
No,
Separate,
start
then
off
together.
separate.
Oh, okay.
Bring together if we find.
And do you have any shoot, I can't think of the right term. Restrictions on enchantment magics.
Oh, you're asking if you can charm them.
I believe there's actually a part in the book where it basically says you can straight up torture people.
Yeah, I remember that. But like, this is a private
Who-
establishment.
Who here has read the interrogating a suspect section of the player's guide?
I skimmed
A
it.
little bit.
I glanced at it like a year ago when we first started talking about this.
Yeah.
Like,
It
I looked
was
at
a lot.
almost everything, but then I didn't actually update myself before we started playing.
For those interested, it is part 3, page 11.
Got it.
There you go.
Thank you.
Or 12 is where the interrogation part starts.
Investigation and interrogation.
Right. The
That
first
was-
part is investigation, and then interrogation starts on page 12.
Oh yeah.
We have nothing barring the use.
Great. Perfect.
So if we have them separate, I imagine that we're also going to split up so that we can interrogate both of them at the same time.
It might be good to leave one of them sweat.
Well, I'm just thinking we have a time frame here, and then we can always leave them to sweat as we feel like it.
That's true. Alright, Mina and I'll take one of them, you two take the other.
Alright.
Sure, we'll take Sorghum.
Fair enough.
So that leaves us with what's our guy's name?
Travis Starter. We have Ford Sorghum, you have Travis Starter. Sorghum like the syrup.
Sure.
All right.
I figure charming him is the last resort, but we do need to get information out of them, so
So
if they're not budging.
I'm not going to tell you. No.
Alright,
They-
who's
they
going
have no
first?
connections, as far as we know. Unless they do have connections, and then it might piss them off.
That was
Like,
actually why I was wondering about how long they were incarcerated. Like, if they're going to be in here a long time, it's going to be hard for them to get anyone after us.
Yeah, they're
Not
probably going to be in here a while. Well,
Also,
I mean,
it
that
depends on.
is the advantage of a floating prison is that you can keep real tight tabs on who comes in and out.
That's true.
All right. Who's going first?
And, finds a way.
Y'all want to go first?
Yeah,
we'll
have
go
them go first. I'm continuing to work, so.
What's the last name?
Starter.
Starter.
All right.
So, I'm guessing there's a table that he's sitting behind.
Oh yeah, classic setup.
Yeah. I'll go in. Sit down. Mr. Starter, my name's Jack Malone. This is Jeremy, a peacekeeper with the constabulary. Before we get to the...
Pleasure to meet your acquaintances.
You smoke, sir?
Not in a while.
I offer him a smoke.
Thank you kindly. As a quick refresher, the rules for interrogation is kind of a two-part process of establishing rapport and extracting information. So there will be a series of skill checks. And then it also does suggest a good cop, bad cop approach, where the team can work together.
Clearly, the deep red-skinned, horned tiefling is the good cop.
Mhm.
And the one who just gave him a smoke is probably the bad cop.
Yep.
It's a trick cigarette. It explodes in his face. You're playing good cop, goofy cop.
So yeah, as a group, you can establish rapport, and then anyone can ask questions, and they make one check to extract information. Whoever has the highest modifier.
Alright, so we got a check first, or...
Yeah. So let's Well, yeah. So let's go ahead and do. So you gave him you're being nice enough and brought him away from prying ears and offered him a smoke and everything. So I'll let you roll your rapport check with advantage.
Yay. So what am I rolling?
This is
Charisma?
Persuasion.
let's see. Skill check typically against insight. If you have genuine connection, you might make a... So it could be persuasion, it could be deception, it could be any skill that you can justify.
Alright.
But I think the main one is persuasion, or the main
He also
suggested one.
offers deception and intimidation as potential options,
Yeah, but I'm
as
not
well
being
as
intimidating.
as well as anything that could offer a common interest. Like one of the examples it gives is using Arcana to get a mage to open up to you.
Yeah. We'll just say it's persuasion.
Okay.
So that is a 7
Roll better than that.
and a crit.
Nice.
All right, there you go.
Especially since it's a -1.
Thank you kindly, sir. I appreciate the... Haven't had a good rolled cigarette in a while.
They are a comfort in hard times. Anyway, Mr. Starter, we're here because an associate of yours has unfortunately met her demise. A Miss Nalasa Sechem.
Hume.
Hume, sorry.
Oh, not Nilasa. What?
I'm afraid so.
How'd she end up going, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it was a hell of a way to go. She was, apparently, we're still trying to piece together all the details of it, but attempting to rip off the Denorian consulate, ended up going out a second floor window, impaling herself on the fence.
It's a damn shame, that is.
Yeah, said, still figuring out the details, and we're hoping you might be able to help us out with that.
She was one for the dramatics, I suppose.
Indeed, it would seem so. So, how did you know her?
She was just a friend.
You two do any work together, any jobs?
Maybe we did.
Nothing you say in here is going to get you any more time.
Well, it's not necessarily time I'm worried about. There's been a lot of rumors floating around of snitches getting stitches and whatnot. Stitches getting snitches. You know how it goes. Dangerous business this is and all.
We already know you were picked up together. So what were you doing that got y'all picked up together?
Well, I mean, I'd like to help you out, but like I said, it's a dangerous work here, and I'm not seeing anything that would be beneficial to me.
Get you moved out of this to a on-land prison. Have some constabulary care.
That'd be rather nice, I suppose. Doesn't really help me get my freedom per se, but it's actually not a bad deal here. You gotta swab the decks every day, but they feed us well enough and all.
Well, let's see.
I mean, you worry about rumors and snitches, but we're the only three in here, and we get to leave, so we could easily pass on stuff that you didn't tell us. Wrong place to
Wow.
Thought I was supposed to be backup.
Yeah, no, I like this threat. This is a good threat. Maybe you did snitch. Maybe you didn't snitch. Maybe you snitched.
Alleged snitches.
That doesn't sound like something some fine, upstanding constables would be up to, but...
Do I look like I'm from here?
Does this Danny bitch look like you can trust it?
He kind of like rubs his arm a little nervously. So what do you think you could get my sentence lightened a little bit? I didn't do anything that really harmed anyone.
Why don't you tell us what you were doing, and I'll...
Or tell us what you weren't doing. Phrase it however you want, but just spit it out.
Okay, look, how about, could you arrange a weekly visit for my son?
Tell you what. Answer our questions, and I will, to the best of my abilities as a constable, make that happen.
Alright. Give me an extraction check. Insight. You got, okay.
Are we both doing this, or just one of us?
Just one of you.
You go ahead.
But you use whoever has the better bonus.
Oh, he definitely does.
16.
Alright. Alright. As long as you get me, my boy. I miss him dearly. Well, I know Nilasa she was recently doing some work for a new group in town, calls himself the Family. She was working with them to acquire a large stash of cache of wands from a Chrysalier Eldritch repository. The family's been edging in on the competition lately. other smuggling operations are falling apart just because they've got more connections to Chrysalia and whatnot.
Yeah.
She said they could get dozens of wands for the as payment for the her allies up in the Cloudwood.
Payment for them or from them?
No, I think the deal was that she helps them out with the smuggling. She gets a cut of the wands.
Did you ever mention working with someone called Gale?
Oh yeah, she was working with her. That's part of the reason she got into the smuggling business.
Sounds about right.
Me and Ford never really got mixed up in that big time business. She worked out the connections herself, and we just were happened to be catching up, reminiscing about old times when they picked us up. She got away. We didn't want to incriminate her, but I guess if this will help you figure out who done her in, then there's no sense holding back now.
That's really all we want. Personally, this whole thing seems fishy.
When you start messing about with the big time, big name gangs, it's kind of what happens, I suppose.
Ain't nothing good comes from politics.
Are there any other questions I can help you officers with on this fine day?
Let's see.
No. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Any idea how it was a Denoran consulate, right?
It was the Denard Consul.
Any idea how the Denoran consulate is connected to Chris O'Leary wands?
Beats me. Like I
Fair.
said, we didn't want to get mixed up in that business ourselves.
Fair enough. If we have any more questions, we'll come back and see you.
And-
I'll...
Speaking of, keep this conversation between us, because you would hate for your boy to wind up as one of our official orphans.
Well, dang.
Good cop, psychopath cop.
Yeah.
Well,
What you can do about bringing your son around once a week.
I'd be most appreciative. He is at the orphanage, but that now that you mention it.
Pass him another cigarette on the way out.
Maybe you could offer his son a job as an official orphan.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an upgrade. I'm not sure.
that's where my first.
The kid had a mother.
No, he's just in an orphanage. For a second I was confused. I'm like, wait, I didn't tell you he was in an orphanage yet.
No, she was threatening to kill his
I was
mom.
threatening to kill his woman, but okay.
Implying that he has a mother
Yep.
that isn't just a lady of the night.
Did you just assume his parentage?
All right. Meanwhile, on the other side of the wall.
We walk out.
By the way, did we get...
Legitimately good cop. But then you gave him a cigarette and I couldn't do that, and then I threatened his kid. What the hell?
What does our guy look like? Do we have a picture of him?
Well,
No.
before we go in, Theodore's going to turn to Ilferi. Ilferi, have you been on? Have you been in an interrogation room before?
I was interrogated to join the Royal Homeland Constabulary.
Right. Okay.
As
That's right.
we all
You take-
were, right?
Well, yes, but just the once then.
Yeah, I haven't really been on the mainland in for very long.
Sure, it's fine. You take good cop, follow my lead. When we go in there, just we're gonna just wait for a bit. I want to
That-
stare him down.
Seems to imply that you want to be a bad cop.
Well, it's just a role. It's not like I'm actually becoming a bad constable. I'm
No, I
going
just
to make
mean,
him sort
like-
it out.
I don't think being mean is the right way to go about things, necessarily.
Hey, just give it a shot. I just need you to come in if he looks like he's about to clam up. See what I mean?
Right. I mean, pirates do
Little-
respond to kindness, so I just kind of assumed that that was just the general way of things.
But yeah, do we have a? I'm guessing we don't, but do we have a picture of him?
No, we don't have a picture of these guys, unfortunately.
Alright.
Paint us a word picture.
Well, I can assume that he's not important enough, and he's not the guy for my vision.
Alright, so as you guys walk in, you see kind of like he's a more heavy set, rotund individual. Bald.
Oh, Sorry. Did, we get Troubles in, or no?
I thought you guys left him.
Okay, I couldn't remember. We had mentioned that there might have been an issue.
No, the office now has an extra potted plant just for the day. He's getting all the leftover coffee. It's great.
Oh, Troubles is gonna be wired.
I don't think Troubles has neurotransmitters like that.
Neurotransmitters. That's the word I was trying to come up with yesterday.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Anyway, rotund man.
Yeah.
Okay. When we go in, Theodore goes in carrying a file, and for the first about 20 seconds, he sits down and is pretending to read the file while alternately just looking across the table in silence at Sorghum.
Hello.
I'm kind of glancing between both of them, like, this is...
What can I do you guys need something or
You seem really cheerful for a criminal.
what?
When Theodore starts talking, he's going to I'm going to use the ability that lets me mimic anyone's accent and mannerisms
Okay.
to mimic one of the people from my backstory, Constable Bernard August, because
Mhm.
Theodore respects him because he's daddy figure number 2. Well, daddy figure number 1 kind of almost killed him, but anyway.
Yeah, issues, Theodore, I get it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So, I'm still going to be using Theodore's accent, but Constable Bernard August
Yeah.
speaks with a slight Denoran accent.
Cool.
Mr. Sorghum, do you know why you're here?
Well, larceny, I think.
Mr. Sorghum, do you know why you are in this room?
Oh, you guys want to talk to me about something?
That's correct.
Oh, good. Well, what about?
I don't want to be bad cop to this guy.
It's like, neither do I now. It's like, I didn't realize he was an idiot.
Like, simple, okay?
Are you on Fate Pepper?
What? No. I don't. They don't allow stuff like that in here.
I think he's just a nice guy. How did you end up wrapped up with the, I lost their name. Not the family, the other ones. The Kel Guild. Right? He's with the Kel Guild?
No, well, we don't know if he's part of the Kel Guild. We just know that he was.
I'm gonna make the assumption that he was.
All right, sure, go for it.
How'd you end up, working with the Kel Guild?
What? I never really did that much work for them. I don't think I ever did work for them. I tried to stay away from the big names.
Oh,
And
then
Who
what?
did you work for?
Different people here and there about town. Mostly the
You
Cloudwood.
worked with a woman named Melissa Hume.
Yeah. She's a
How
good
close were
friend.
you? Oh. Well, we have some unfortunate news.
But first,
Mhm.
can you tell us what sort of business did you do with Melissa?
Well, I don't wanna say anything bad about her.
If you are worried about
She's just
her,
a good friend.
If you are worried about her getting in trouble, you have very little to worry about. Unfortunately, we are here investigating her death.
Oh, not Nilasa. She was just a sweet girl.
Do you know what she might have been doing at the Denoran Consul?
She get a job there, maybe?
She was allegedly caught stealing, and and was shot by one of the security officers.
Oh. Well,
And then she jumped out of a window, flew for a couple seconds, and fell and impaled herself on a fence.
oh! Oh!
Alright, apparently you are playing bad cop,
He deserves
She-
to know the truth.
She flew and...
Also, your teddy bear never loved you.
Santa Claus isn't real, the tooth fairy's parents and your parents are dead.
Also, I killed your parents.
Also, slash with your parents.
The reason I lay this out is because the circumstances of her death are very unusual, and your cooperation could help us find what happened to her.
Alright, let's do our report check.
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Let's...
It sounds. I mean, we haven't made a case for anything other than persuasion here. I don't think.
True. I got a +1.
I also have a +1, but with the
This
report check,
this one you
I believe we
can both do individually and take the best result. Or if one of you passes, you both pass.
I got a 17.
I got an 11.
Alright, you guys pass.
Mr. Sordom, we are looking into her death because we find it suspicious. If you are as a friend of hers, you can help us out and help us figure out what happened. On the day in question, it seems she used Fey Pepper that was acquired somewhere in Pine Island. Do you know who could have supplied her with that?
I might.
And do you care about Nalasa enough to provide us that information so we can maybe find out what happened to her?
Well, I do, but I also care about staying alive. And there's been hearing a lot of scary stories lately about people who've been, well, people who've told on other cops, and wound up not on the boat anymore, if you catch my meaning.
I used to be a pirate. I definitely do not want people thrown overboard.
Definitely not into these waters. Do you believe that? So you believe that whoever supplied Nilasa with this Fey pepper is a dangerous individual?
I didn't say that.
Blink once for yes, twice for no.
I
Well,
mean,
What
It's
if
not-
we could get you off the boat in a more peaceful sense?
I mean, it'd be great if you could get me out of here.
If you help us with our investigation, we can try to have you transferred to a Royal Homeland Constabulary holding facility.
Well, can you get my sentence shortened at all? I mean, I didn't do anything dangerous or anything.
What did you do? Other than, I mean, larceny, but what in particular?
I think that was more of a, I don't know, they had a warrant out for our arrest, and we were staying away for so long. I think they were trying to make an example.
So, what, did they have a warrant for you on?
You must have
I mean, like,
stolen
that's-
something.
Oh, just, you know, we picked up some
Roast beef, some chicken.
This guy would rob a convenience store.
I'm trying to think of what the this world equivalent of a convenience store is, because it probably is that.
Oh, just like
General store.
yeah.
You robbed a bakery.
Yeah.
They paid off with 10 gold and a croissant.
Well, they were really good croissants, okay? You ever eaten a croissant and just been like, man, I would kill for this. Well, I didn't kill for it, but I did steal for it.
I've never killed over a croissant.
I have thought about it over, like, a particularly nice looking fruit, though.
You spent too long at sea.
I think it was more the
Dangerous.
I think it was more the repeated crimes and evasion.
You stole multiple croissants?
Yeah, we can see what we can do.
And I
If
think
you-
they were also well, they wanted us to rat out Nilasa when they arrested us, and we refused. So I
Now
think
that you can help us out with.
Actually, yeah, who's the...
If you were offered a plea deal for Nilasa, if you tell us about Nilasa, we
We
can
can
say
get you
took the
clemency.
deal. We can get you transferred, probably get your sentence shorter. And
I'm actually curious, though. Who's the they? Who arrested you?
I mean, just the police, right?
yeah, the city police.
Okay, well... Maybe there was something to it. It was worth asking.
Sure.
Yeah, we might be able to grant you some clemency if you decide to follow up, and we can keep the tip anonymous.
At the very least, I mean, I don't mind it here, but they could maybe clean the bed sheets a little more often.
Yeah, that we have no control over.
I
But
can clean your bed sheets when we leave here, at the very least.
Well, they only change them every month.
I could do you a solid and clean it off, like, on our way out.
Yeah,
I
but
know
then
prestidigitation.
they're gonna be dirty for a whole nother month.
No, I mean, like, it's in between.
You can clean them forever?
What? No, I just mean, like, have they been... When was the last time they were cleaned?
like 2 days ago,
Oh.
because he said every month.
Oh, yeah, it is the beginning of the month. Well, I really wish that Shrubbles knew prestidigitation. He could learn it.
What? Leave him shovels so you can clean this guy's bed sheets every month?
I just thought of like how he could be like helpful with that spell all of a sudden.
I think that
Anyways.
Troubles follows Pokemon rules and can only know 4.
Well, he knows camouflage.
Yep.
Right. You are muted, Sam.
He knows camouflage, he knows walk, he knows talk, and he knows cling to Ilferi, so he's pretty much full.
I think he also has an attack.
He knows sketch.
He can
He does have.
he
has
can
talk.
rake.
Oh shit, he knows Sketch, he can learn anything.
Also, he doesn't know sketch yet. Watched one guy draw one thing one time.
Sorry. Oh, I was saying sketch as the closest thing I could think to like write. He can write.
Can
Anyway.
he write?
Yeah, he is doing my paperwork.
Oh, I just thought that meant like pick thing up, move over here.
No, he like fills out the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
With a stamp or
No, he can write. He can pick up a pen and he can write. We're
I like the idea
Why
that
does this thing have an intelligence of 10?
Wait, I like
know.
the idea that that's true, but he just refuses to do it whenever anyone is looking, so no one else believes Ilferi.
You leave the room, you come back, covered in...
Paperwork all done.
Alright, so are you willing to cut this guy a deal of any kind?
Yeah,
I mean, we did
we
offer,
can try and get him
yeah.
some clemency.
to cut him a deal if he.
I mean, you guys
gave
can-
us the information and also told us what they wanted him to inform on
Yeah.
Nalasa about.
And it is within your power to, like, you know, put in a good word, or you could probably call in a favor to reduce or eliminate his sentence,
Yeah.
or just talking to the director as you leave could get him any amenities on the ship.
I think if we could
Yeah.
reduce his sentence and get his sheets cleaned like every 2 weeks.
If we get his sheets, I mean, maybe okay, I'm gonna say it now because otherwise I'll forget to say it. But after we get out, Theodore will bring up if we get his sheets cleaned every 2 weeks, he will get shanked.
It would have to be the whole cell block. You're right. Otherwise, it'd be noticed.
Exactly.
Alright.
Can we get the whole cell block sheets cleaned every 2 weeks? Can we just get some general reform in this prison?
That's maybe more Ilferi's bag. But we are willing to cut him the deal, and we did offer him the deal if he informs on the source of the Fae Pepper and on
Alright.
whatever they want from about Nalasa.
Alright, let's do our extraction roll then.
Okay,
Okay, I have a +3. What do you have?
I have a +5.
All right, so we're rolling yours. Go for it.
Can we aid another in this check though?
I don't
No,
think
it's
so.
one check for the party. It specifies it's one check for the party, but it just uses whoever.
Okay. I'm just double check. Yeah,
Anyone can
I don't
actually
really
ask
feel like
questions,
I don't feel like using my Sky Seer's blessing, so
but they just make one insight check to extract information using whoever skill modifiers.
I have a 14.
Okay. That is a success. Okay. Well, I guess there's no harm to her that can come about now.
That's true. She has received the ultimate punishment, unfortunately.
You do
She-
not have to keep reminding him.
She was mixed up with the...
Rotting in the ground.
She was mixed up in the big names. She started to work with the new Chris O'Leary gang in town, the family, and think she was getting ready for some sort of big smuggling operation coming up pretty soon. Smuggling some wands for her connections in the Cloudwood.
For her connections in the Cloudwood.
Yeah,
Ones from the provided by the family.
she's been working with Gale and them up in the Cloudwood for a while now, and has been moving in on this family to try to get resources for the Cloudwood.
And what kind of wands were these?
Oh, the ones that you have to sneak into the city,
Invisibility?
among other
And
things, I
you
suppose.
And you believe that the family may also be the source of the Fey Pepper?
Oh, the Fey Pepper. I think she.
The Fey
God.
Pepper came from this area, not the Cloudwood.
It came from Pine Island. But yeah, but she wasn't smug. The family is not operating in the Cloudwood. She was smuggling things from the family to the Cloudwood.
Oh, okay.
I don't know too much about the Fey Pepper. I know she had some connections to get some stuff from an alchemist somewhere in Pine Island, but I don't know her contacts.
But you know it was an alchemist. Did you know if this alchemist had a shop? Maybe a name? A face? You did say you had something. How good a word we put in for you is really gonna hinge on whether or not you can help us.
She mentioned once a place called War Eyes Apothecary.
War Eyes Apothecary?
Yeah. Or Wary Eye. There's an extra Y in there.
Oh. I was thinking that War Eyes Apothecary sounded a little edgy. What?
War Eyes Apothecary.
Sorry, there was a smudge.
That is helpful. Thank you. And then I think that's where we exit the room.
She said there was a deal going down on the 4th.
Fourth. With whom? Where? That's in 2 days.
Yeah, I guess that is, isn't it? I kind of lost track of time in here. You can really do that to you sometimes. Every day is kind of the
been a
same
week.
thing. Every day. You don't know what it's like, man.
I kinda do. I've lived on a pirate ship for years.
I was in prison, but that was different.
Anyways, more on the deal. On the 4th, where? What time? Who?
Oh, I don't know. She said she was gonna meet up with someone called the House Elf,
The house elf.
Dobby.
Okay.
and was gonna meet up with some members of the family somewhere off Pine Island, sailing out to the bay.
Okay.
She bragged about having tens of thousands of gold to use in exchange for the Hall of the Wands.
Sorghum, when you get back into the general population, do yourself a favor keep your head low until you're off this boat.
Oh yeah, I plan on it.
Actually, how do you like factory work, where the person that you work for actually respects you as an employee?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've known some guys that done factory work, but a bunch of them then got trapped in the factories where they were working and didn't really work out too well for them.
Well, we do know at least one person running an office factory. We could put in a good word, but
Especially with you being friends with Nalasa.
I think that would make a difference. That's true. But one step at a time. Get you off this boat first, but before then, we need to speak with our associates.
Okay then.
You've been very helpful.
Well,
And maybe you should actually, maybe a bakery. Maybe a bakery is a job for you.
No, he'd eat all of them.
But that's
He's too tempted. He'd just take everything. You're just putting him right back in the middle of it. You're putting an alcoholic to work in a still. That's no good.
all right.
So yeah, I think that's where we exit the room to meet back up with Jack and Mina.
All right.
How's yours go?
As you walk out, you hear Mina complaining about having to be bad cop.
And threatening a child.
You what?
That's fine.
Our man was pleasant. The worst of his crimes was stealing pastries.
Sorghum was very helpful. We know that Nilasa was working with the family to bring wands to the to Gale and the
Yeah,
other
we heard
terrorists
that
in the
too.
Cloudwood.
That's what we got out of it.
We also know that she had some kind of that her hookup for the Fey Pepper was likely a source in Pine Island, the Wary Eye Alchemist. In addition, she had a meeting with someone named the House Elf and some members of the family at some point on the 4th. So 2 days from now, somewhere in Pine Island and moving into the bay. Likely something to do with the smuggling, but Sorghum was fuzzy on the details.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's all we got.
Yes.
Oh shoot! Can I go back in and ask him one more question?
Sure. He's still in the room.
He hasn't gone anywhere
I'm
yet.
gonna go back in.
Okay.
You can't leave. I like the idea that we're talking and the fairies back into.
Do you know this man? And I show him the picture.
No.
Okay.
Should I?
Probably not. Bye.
So,
Never mind. He doesn't know about the guy.
we also need to speak to the director on the way out. We're going to try to get. We're going to try to get Sorghum placed into our custody.
Yeah, we're gonna need to give visits for starters, kid.
Well, it sounds like they've earned them. All right. I guess we go talk to the director.
Well, he said he didn't mind it here. He just wanted a shorter sentence, right?
Might actually be safer to keep him here. Maybe
Someone
not.
get it. Someone getting who
Probably.
looks like makes it look like there's some special treatment going on, whereas a shorter sentence is just a shorter sentence.
Yeah, but if he gets released right after we visited him, then it's pretty clear that he talked to us
Oh, I
Whereas-
wasn't saying that he gets off scot-free. I just mean, like, let's get his sentence shortened to, like, a month.
But if we get him placed into our custody, and then we just take him off, it kind of looks like he didn't talk to us, and we are going for some more advanced interrogation techniques.
Oh, you're saying that we're gonna let him go now.
I'm saying that we're going to take him into custody and then take him into RHC custody, and then basically have him sit in a holding cell for a few days and at least until the investigation is over.
Oh, yeah, that was my confusion. That seems like a lot of time taken off of his sentence. I assumed he would at least be in here a bit for his crimes, even if it is just, you know,
Yeah,
grand theft pastry.
Sounds like petty larceny. He's been on a floating barge for a week. This sounds like enough to me.
I suppose. I really shouldn't be judging, you know, former pirate and all that. Alright, that works for me. It just wasn't what I had in mind.
No, he did give us everything we wanted. Also, if we leave here, then whoever's connected to the family in here is definitely going to kill him. I mean, we could leave him here, but he will definitely die if we do that.
I don't know, what about the other guy? They got booked together.
Yeah, we're
I
just
don't
getting
know. I didn't offer him anything.
if we can and get him visits with his son.
Okay, I didn't offer him anything. I didn't even know he had a son. So I guess we go talk to the director?
All right, sounds good. Well, I hope you had a lovely meeting with some of my charges.
We are going to need Sorghum
gift wrap.
transferred. We're going to need both of them transferred into our custody, unfortunately.
Is there anything the matter with them, or
We need to take them ashore as part of an ongoing investigation. Unfortunately, it is a sensitive matter that involves an international consulate, and as such, I cannot say more.
we'll have to make some official write up some paperwork and
I can
figure
bring my scribe to help out with some paperwork.
For about half a second, my brain went. Ilferi's got. Wait. Oh yeah.
we're gonna need a favor, I think, to accomplish this.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And what kind of favor are you be asking for? Are you be? God, fuck. Pirates are dumb.
Be ye.
Throw a Y on the end there.
Okay.
So what level of favor is this?
This will be a rank 1.
All right. So, what faction does this count as? Does this count as Flint?
Yeah, this would count as Flint.
Okay. So, if I remember correctly, our prestige is 1 with Flint, correct?
Yeah, I think it's still 1 across the board.
Yeah.
So that means that we can that this can be done in a few hours. So basically our options are to let it be that, or we can try to make it a little faster, which would be as little time as humanly possible, which would probably mean the two of them coming with us, which would be the safest option for them, but Zeodor thinks that later on today is probably good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So no check. And you guys work
And
out
that
the
uses-
details with the director. They'll send a
And
couple of
we'll have
orphans
them-
over.
Yep. and we'll have them transferred to an RHC holding cell in Central until later in the day.
All right. It is at this point about 10:30 by my count.
Then we should start heading over.
What time is it?
10:30.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, we have like 3 districts to go through.
Yeah, so that would take us to
Central,
noon
Nettles,
exactly.
Oddwood. Oh no, Central, Nettles. Yeah, we could be a half hour early.
Well,
You can stop for
that
lunch
depends.
if you want.
Do West Bank and East Bank count?
No, I think it's just like you probably. I mean, probably the fastest way from Pine Island to Central is to just get like a ferry or like a
Oh,
public,
yeah.
like a water taxi sort of thing.
Yeah, that would make sense.
If only my wild shape wasn't like limited use. I totally would just like turn into a shark or something and swim across.
You guys are on your own. I'm a shark.
Also, as much as I love my ability, I'm not sure that Zeodor's knowledge can make the ferry go faster, so I think it might still take an hour to get from Pine Island to Central.
Yeah.
Here, take this shortcut.
We're going in a straight line!
This straight line is faster than that straight line.
I think you guys could still reasonably meet your noon meeting.
And
Yeah,
grab
that
a pastry
would-
on the way, right?
That would take us to like 11:30 in Central, and then like noon in the Nettles. And we did
Yeah.
say just after noon, so we are quite punctual.
Yeah,
And we
I'm
have-
really feeling a croissant right now.
We just got our favorites for the day.
With some jam.
I think, isn't it per faction? At the very
One
least.
perfection.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
our Flint favorite for the day.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well. So that
You can
means...
make a check to call in another one.
Oh, okay.
If we need to, yeah.
Because I'm assuming that. Sorry. Sorry. The guy we're talking to, we might need to get a favor from him too.
That's true. If the party needs to call in more favors, one is a persuasion check, DC 8, plus 2 per level of the favor, plus 2 per each previous favor, beyond the limit in the same day.
All right. So you are arriving.
Okay, so that's not that bad. That's only a DC 10 check for
Yeah.
level 1, because it's 2 per each beyond the limit, which is currently 0.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's not meant to be forbidding. It's just like, so you don't go crazy.
Abuse it.
Yeah.
I would like 1,000 urchins to watch all of the streets in the city simultaneously and report everything that happens.
All right. So we are making our way downtown.
We feed
Faces
bread to the bird,
pass.
which is a terrible idea, but we're doing it anyway.
Huh?
You wanted a croissant.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
We're feeding bread to the bird. It's bad for your
Yeah.
digestion.
No, it's fine.
Alright, are we headed straight to the Nettles? Hang left, straight to the Nettles?
I believe so. Unless you guys had any other business.
Yeah, I mean,
That
other
was-
than that detour.
That was Ryan's question. I don't think we're really detouring for food. We're probably just like, I'm sure
Street
that there's
food.
a bakery. Yeah. that
I
there's a
mean, like,
bakery
there
or a
was
street
a
vendor we can-
specific place he mentioned that, like, I
There's some food
got
trucks.
in my head.
I'm sure at the ferry terminal there's plenty of options for food. Because why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
And my note did say afternoon,
Yep.
Yes.
so we're not late until it's like
3.
midnight.
Precisely.
It did say just afternoon. So, one could argue.
Yeah, but what is just? Hey, who's that one guy who we met in the past who's real into philosophical debates? Let's bring him along.
Oh God.
Oh, the guy from the tavern?
His name was.
No, I meant the captain guy from like the.
Oh, yeah.
Fine, he's fine.
Rutger
I just
Smith.
Yes. Rutger. Rest in peace.
Hennett Rennis was the one that I thought you were talking about, and I don't want to talk to him.
No, I don't want to talk to him again.
He's one of those fake intellectuals.
I thought you were somehow talking about my character from the last time I played Zeitgeist. Because that was his entire character.
He was a master debater.
Yes, he was.
But most
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much every NPC conversation with him ended with the NPC saying, "You've given me a lot to think about," and then walking away.
Theodore is the least high concept character I've ever heard of you playing.
That's probably true, though. I was noting that I do end up having my characters slide into Artificer. Last time
Oh my God.
on this show, I was a cleric who
Right.
was an artificer, and then this time I played a rogue who ended up as an artificer. And until a couple of Saturdays ago in one shot, I hadn't actually played an artificer.
All right. So you guys arrive at the mayor's manor, which sits just at the base of Cauldron Hill, which looms above it. I don't think I have any description of his house or anything.
I've been playing too much Pokemon. I keep feeling like this is a gym battle.
Da, 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 da. All right. As you arrive,
He Dynamaxes his Gengar. Go.
And you
Oh, sweet! It's his last Pokemon. We're good.
you knock on the door of the manor, and a man answers the door. Yes, may I help you?
I sent a letter ahead this morning. We're from the constabulary. We were hoping to speak with the mayor today.
Ah, yes. He's just finishing up another appointment. Why don't you have a seat in the garden while I fetch him?
Thank you.
Garden.
Yeah, there's a nice little garden. It's inside the fenced region of the manor, separating it from the riffraff. And the fence kind of goes around the entire mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The only opening is here at the manor.
And we're close to the top of the Nettles? Or is that hill a separate thing?
The hill is this hill here on the
Okay.
map. So
So I imagine we're somewhere around here-ish.
yeah.
Okay.
How tall is this fence?
It's not forbiddingly tall. Most people know better than to try to mess with Cauldron Hill.
Okay, all right.
You could climb over it with a concerted effort.
Climb. I don't anticipate using this information, but it's good to know.
Okay. So you settle yourselves in the garden, and after a few minutes, a man steps out of the building. He lights a cigarette, kind of nods at you, and then starts gazing across the hillsides of the nettles in front of him. Can you imagine what it's like to live down there? He asks almost rhetorically. Chaos, that's what it is. The mayor, he nods his head back towards the house. He could come up with the most brilliant plan to help these people. He could get all the money in the city's coffers. He could do everything right, but he's just one man. Not a cog in a machine, but a pebble on a beach. Chaos. He takes another draw on his cigarette, then smiles. It's beautiful what people can create out of chaos, but I'd gladly give it up to stop their suffering. At that point, a groom comes up, guiding a horse for him. And if anyone wants to say anything, they can, or else he'll just start getting on his horse.
Shoot, I missed most of that actually.
Did my
I mean, like,
voice cut?
My Discord cut out.
Oh.
Chaos, beautiful chaos, great things can come from chaos, yada yada yada.
We
Didn't we
100%
read-
should have brought Rutger Smith to chat with this man.
Rutger Hauer, who like tears in rain.
He also said that the mayor could do everything right and have all the money, and it still wouldn't matter because he's just one man.
Okay, I caught that part. I guess it was after that. Something about a horse.
There was just
Oh,
a
groom
a
problem.
pause, and then a groom brings his horse, and he's just kind of like finishing his cigarette.
Okay, so I didn't miss as much as I thought. Good.
No.
I kind of cynically glance at him while also smoking my cigarette.
And what is your interest in the mayor?
Well, I'm just a messenger.
What kind of messenger? What message do you bring?
Oh, it's not for you. It was for the mayor.
Is it from the Kells or the family?
It's this one's pretty clever. Neither, for your information, but
So, and this guy's just a human, right?
yeah.
What does he look like? Like, does he look well dressed? Does he look scruffy? Or
Middle-aged, nondescript, clean-shaven. Nothing
Does he
too.
look like my picture?
No.
Okay.
Well, your picture has a beard and mustache.
Oh yeah, you did say clean shaven. Does he look like my picture, but he shaved today?
It's not about the beard on the inside.
the stars can predict the future, but they can't predict shaving.
The stars actually just put a beard and mustache on every face that you see in your
Look,
dreams.
it was cloudy last night. Okay.
Yeah, that's what the beard is. It's the clouds.
Clouds are in the shape of a goatee. I've had a vision about Laya. She's grown a beard and also.
He's just gonna start mounting up unless anyone has any other quips for him.
I don't really have anything philosophical to debate him on. It seems like that's his hobby.
It's like currently I'm thinking that that he somehow works for Gale, but I don't have anything to
Yeah, it's also my
connect
thought.
with that. So, like Theodore doesn't have.
Yeah.
It doesn't think anything's going to come from this guy. At least not right now.
He gets up on his horse, lights another cigarette, nods to you all, and rides off. And with that, the man who met you at the door earlier comes out and says, "The mayor's ready for you."
Ah,
Who's
great.
that?
Oh, there was just a messenger. I believe his name is Doro. Just bringing some news for the mayor. Please come in. The mayor's ready for you in his office.
Good news or bad news? It'd be nice to know the disposition of the man we're going to speak with.
I don't know the nature of the news, but the mayor does seem to be in a good mood lately.
But do you
good.
know the news of the nature?
I do.
It has a mustache and beard.
No, I cast Druidcraft to predict the weather for the next 24 hours.
It's cloudy.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
I look to the skies and use the stars to predict the weather. Huh? It seems to be raining.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's a pretty good ability. And then I thought about it for a second, like, well, that's kind of like I could probably do that.
no, it tells me
That hard.
it tells me the weather for 24 hours in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in certain parts of the world, that's still not that hard.
Sure, but I can do it,
I mean, it is a level 0 stuff.
But I can do it.
and it makes like a little sensory thing, so it'll make like I mean,
Ha-cha-cha-cha.
forecast.
It summons a screen with a map behind you. For sure today is gonna be cool.
Bill Ferry just raised his head. It go rain.
All right. You're shown.
Talk to the mayor.
You're shown by the butler into the mayor's office.
I'm
Oh,
gonna tell
he
the
did
mayor
it.
the weather.
Huh?
No, guys, we
Butler.
figured it out.
It's the butler.
The butler, he did it, yeah.
The mayor's office has a rear window facing the higher slopes of Cauldron Hill. And as he shows you in, the butler offers, "Can I get you anything? Tea, wine, coffee?"
Tea works.
I'm good.
He nods and departs. Ah, constables. Oh, I actually do have a picture of the mayor.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, it's in the handbook too.
He won't immediately die.
Hey, you got a picture of Navard.
We also got a picture of someone who is dead.
Yeah.
Look like?
I had the same thought. He looks like somebody.
He looks like.
Yeah. He looks like a senator.
No, he looks like an actor.
He does, like an old timey actor.
Much like how the security chief of the
Yeah.
consulate is Jean Reno.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes, he
And
is.
the guy right below him in the handbook definitely looks like that really wrinkly faced Hispanic actor that plays tough guys.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
All right.
He's the guy that is an actual tough guy.
All right. What can I help
Yeah, a
you,
little bit of a
constables,
Robert
with?
Redford vibe if Robert Redford had very different hair.
Yeah, I think so.
What can I help you, constables, with today?
So, not to pry, but before we get on to our business, we met Doro outside and he was acting real weird. Is everything okay?
Or
Oh.
is he just weird?
That was like
Yes,
something.
he's just a little eccentric, I suppose you could say. He's nothing more than a courier.
Or anyone important?
important to me, but I don't think it has any interest to your business or your interests,
Alright.
as far as I'm aware, anyway.
I'll go ahead.
Just
and roll
matters of the
insight on
state.
that. Because that's just because the guy outside was acting so.
Super weird.
I got a 15.
I'm sorry.
I
heard-
got 16.
Okay. Did
And I
anyone
got
else roll?
15.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll roll it.
Okay.
Mina is not suspicious.
Okay.
I got a 10.
Yeah, you two. He definitely seems like dodgy, or doesn't really want to stay on the topic.
All right. Yeah, I'll
can
leave
go
it
back
alone
to
for
later.
now.
Yeah, I'll make a note of that.
So to the reason I wrote you. What's it gonna take for the four of us to get the okay to take an old dying sky seer to the top of Cauldron Hill so he can see the stars one last time before he dies?
He's like kind of like nodding along as you reveal the full breadth of what you're asking, and he's kind of like, "Oh, that is a new one."
Zedor kind of looks over like, is that what we're doing here?
Character, I also forgotten what we were doing.
But it's a good thing I took the lead.
Yes, that's it's a very interesting request. Well, yes, we might be able to work something out.
Oh, great.
What?
That
What?
was-
What? Tell me more. What about this guy's here?
Well,
You mentioned that.
it's really a core part of his identity.
I love how like leading up, like the title, "The Dying Sky Seer," is all mysterious. It's like if you didn't know anything else about the campaign, it's like, ooh, what's the Sky Seer? Why is he dying? And then now that it's been revealed, it's just like, that's all we know about him. Forget everything else we've learned about him up to this point. He's just dying.
His name is I lost his name.
Navard Setchum.
Thank you, Navard Setchum. He lives in Cloudwood, has been a Sky Seer for quite a long time. It's about 100 years old. Kind of looks like he has cataracts, but can still see the stars very well.
And what is your interest in assisting this Sky Seer? Does that follow under the...
Yes, an investigation.
Yeah.
And also, I want to learn a bit of sky seeing from him. He says that it has the location has some significance for sky seeing. Some overlap of, planes, right? We know them as planes, right?
No.
I can't remember specifically what he said about the Nettles.
Just
about.
that it's a place of magic, and that it's the highest point in the city.
Okay, yeah, it's a place of magical significance.
Also, as constables, it's nice to just do some honest work every now and then.
It's kind of his last wish after we told him that his niece is dead.
I'm trying to... I'm not sure if you guys are hiding why you're doing it, or if you guys have forgotten why you're doing this.
I
I know that's why he said he'd give us information.
Yeah.
He said he would give us a meeting with Hale. Gale.
And I don't really want to
Yeah.
point that out. To
Okay,
this guy.
okay.
No, we're meeting with
That I just wanted to make sure that was an intentional.
Yes, it is intentional.
Okay.
least on my part.
Sure.
Other people may
Theodore
have
doesn't know
forgotten.
that, so.
Yeah, Theodore
Yeah,
no clue.
I knew I was lying about something.
Omitting.
His last wish after we told him his niece
Oh no, everything
died.
I've said is truthful.
Yeah, and yeah, no, I stand by everything I've said.
Well, that is, like I said, a very, very interesting request. We can definitely look into it. I hope that I don't suppose he would be causing any trouble.
No, I don't think he's really capable of it. Like we said, he is dying.
In, out, 20-minute adventure.
I mean, it might take a couple hours, but he doesn't seem to pose any sort of
But,
threat. He's gonna need
yeah.
assistance just to get up there in the first place.
We're pretty much gonna have to like it's on us to take him to the top. So I don't think he's gonna cause any trouble.
Well, we can certainly arrange something. I suppose with the skies here, you'll be staying overnight, which does pose its own hazards, but we can make some preparations to make it as safe as possible.
What kind of
But yeah,
hazards?
some constables too.
Well, this is the Cauldron Hill that we're dealing with. I don't know how much you know or believe about what happens here, but rest assured there are dangers that lurk.
Right.
Are these
What?
dangers supposedly connected to Fae?
Oh, I don't think so. But I've done a lot of research over the years as my interim as mayor here, and it is my job to understand these dark powers as much as possible. But there's only so much that that's even known. Suffice to say, without proper preparations, there have been reports of spirits getting loose in stories of possession and trouble sleeping.
Hold on. I feel like Ilferi might have an inkling of something. I just
Okay.
need to look at the planes really quick. This sounds like fire, air. I bet. No, Nem. Shoot. There's a plane of the dead, right?
And I'll just leave that up to you. But we can, we of course have proper wards in place, and there's some amulets that I can lend to you that will work in conjunction with the wards of the mountain and should protect you. I would recommend going up during the day and setting up your camp beforehand. We'll of course give you some goat's blood to distract the spirits. He just kind of gives you the spiel of what's required.
Right. I am definitely preparing protection from good and evil.
James, I think you are thinking of Nem. Plane of Ruin, Planet has a myth, and then the sky seers, only been seen, blah blah blah, devouring stars, living nothing but hole at night, influences, secrets, and the dead.
Yeah, there's a couple that influence the dead, because Avalona has notable deaths, and Av is, mentions a soul being captured. Yeah, Nem is probably the one, but it's not as close as I thought.
Now,
So, do you think we could make that happen tomorrow? Afternoon going into evening?
Oh yeah, tomorrow would be good. Yeah.
that sounds doable. I'll get some preparations on my end. You'll of course have to come through the manor on your way up, and on the way back we'll do some cleansing rituals, make sure nothing lingering is on any of you. Um,
Unreasonable.
Yep.
If
Other than that,
hypothetical,
it should
if
be
something
perfectly
was
safe.
lingering, what would you do?
Oh, we have rituals that are part of my expertise to track, trace, and eliminate.
Hmm. Do you know the origin of those rituals and such?
Well, it's a long tradition of the responsibility of the mayor of the Nettles to make themselves learned in these matters and take them over from the previous mayor on an appointment. I have students that I teach now in hopes that one day one of them will take over a similar role.
So this is an elected position that you also need to study for?
In a way, if another official were to come forward with the required expertise, they don't have to be directly under my tutelage,
But you do have to have the expertise to be qualified to run for that position, right?
well, yes, like I said, the position is more than just overseeing zoning and water supplies. That we protect the city from the evils that lurk on the hill.
It's actually a little terrifying.
I suppose, but rest assured, I don't. We've never had an incident, and I don't foresee us ever having any. The spirits are mostly contained to the hill itself, regardless. Most of what I have to do on a day-to-day basis is maintain the perimeter wards for any that might wander.
Well, that's good information to have, and I can prepare a couple extra things with regards to warding off spirits before we come up here.
Perfect. So, tomorrow night?
Tomorrow evening?
Tomorrow, well,
Oh, tomorrow
afternoon.
afternoon. The trek to the top will probably take a couple hours. I don't know how fit your 100-year-old Skyseer friend is, but
We'll get him up there.
Yeah, we'll come prepared. We actually may come, I would say between noon and 2 tomorrow, just to be on the safe side.
Sounds like a good idea.
wonderful. I'll make preparations. We'll probably need about I feel like it actually said the number here somewhere. We'll probably need about 4 kegs of goat's blood. We'll get the amulets out of yes. Okay. Yes, tomorrow.
I'm really glad that protection from good and evil is added to the spell list, like, very recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was in that document.
Ah.
I already got that shit on lock.
Hmm? Oh, you are.
I also like how versatile and non-alignment dependent it is now.
Yeah.
Because alignment being mechanical, I always felt weird.
Mhm.
Well, it's one of those things, if it's protection against good and evil, wouldn't you need it to be open to anybody?
Well, I think in 3.5 they were two different spells,
Yeah, there was protection from
Okay.
good and protection from.
and in this edition,
But I understand.
in this
And
edition,
blind
it just
cross.
protects you from otherworldly entities.
Okay.
Yeah, in 3.5 they were 4 separate spells.
Yeah.
Protection from good, protection from evil, protection from law, protection from chaos.
Yep.
Interesting.
All right.
Cool.
Which I always like just the naming of protection from law. It's not protection from cops.
Ha! You can't come in here. You follow the law. It steps across line. Oh fuck.
Wait, that's illegal.
Alright.
Looks up, it's a bird person, not illegal. Ill fairy. Yeah.
Aw.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
So.
Alright. Well, we're in the Nettles, so who wants to go find a gang?
Yay!
Yeah, we have time to do that.
Yeah?
I meant in real time. Isn't that
Oh.
Oh no, I think we're gonna wrap up here for the night in real time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we can go gang hunting next time.
I mean, you already have a meeting set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that becomes the thing. We have a meeting set up in the Nettle. No, wait.
In Parody Lake,
In Parody Lake,
next to the
which is next to the Nettles, but we also have to go to that apothecary, which is back on Pine Island. So we're just
We're bad
all
at
sorts of
this.
fucked. No, we got that Pine Island thing after we'd already set up
I
the
know,
time
I
to meet
know,
with
I
this
know.
guy. It's just, it's a mess. But
Wait, I thought the meeting we had on the 4th was on Pine Island.
It is, but we have the meeting at the theater tonight.
tonight.
Oh, right. I forgot that. one.
Yeah, so we have the meeting at the theater tonight, which is the 2nd. And then tomorrow, the 3rd, we have the thing on Cauldron. And then on the 4th, we have the thing in Pine Island. But what we can do now is we've got time to investigate the Nettles before we have to do the thing in Parody Lake. And then tomorrow morning, we can go over to Pine Island
The apothecary.
and hit the apothecary then before we go up to the Cloudwood.
Sure, but we have to go up to the Cloudwood to get what's his face and bring him all the way back down to the Nettles to go all the way back up Cauldron Hill.
That's all we're doing tomorrow, though, right?
I know, but it might be a divide and conquer thing.
Yeah.
Also, is somebody writing this down because we're taking a 2-week break?
No, yeah, I am.
Taking a 2-week break.
You know, the holidays.
The holidays.
My D&D group takes a 5-week break from American Thanksgiving through New Year's.
Wow.
Yeah, you still do one shot.
Yeah, we run one-shots, but we,
Oh,
like,
okay.
we put the actual games aside.
That's
So, like,
fair.
we did 2 Christmas one-shots so far, and tomorrow we're doing a level 20 battle royale, so...
Oh yeah. Sounds like fun. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap up things there for now. I know it's not a great stopping point,
I'm happy with it.
but
I'm enjoying this part of the campaign a lot, actually.
okay. Yeah. This is one of my favorite adventures. It can be a little like like how many dice did we roll tonight even?
But that's the thing.
I think I rolled once.
I play D&D to roleplay more than I do anything. So.
Yeah. And that's what I love about this campaign.
I play D&D for the funny shaped dice.
I love my shiny math rocks.
Yeah, I think this is the 3rd session in a row where I didn't roll any dice.
Although this time you did have to refer to stats.
Yeah. Well, yeah, DCs. Because for the prisoner stuff, those were given as DCs in the adventure.
Oh, no, you rolled last session.
Oh, I rolled one, charm person saving throw, which I think was a 3. And I probably, I pretty much was just like gonna ignore the dice roll anyway and just let you pass that one.
I attacked the scenario, Redbeard.
I'm surprised you didn't charm the prisoners.
He was too nice. He didn't need to be charmed. He was like.
He was already
so
charming.
cool.
He charmed you,
Exactly.
James.
He did charm me. I got a pastry like right after we talked. Like,
That was his plan all along. He's actually works for the bakery.
he's part of the baker's cartel. I knew it.
He's inventing buzz marketing.
Yeah.
The bakers are actually behind everything.
All right.
We need to get this game into like the middle of summer, because according to the section on Skyseers and the Lunar Myth, at that point we will be in Kraken Moon.
Yes.
All right, folks. I don't know what our streaming schedule's like this week.
Me and Kathleen are gonna try to do a stream sometime this weekend.
Okay. I have
Cool.
no problem with that. I just set up dinner with a friend on Thursday night.
Okay, not Thursday night. Sometime between Friday and Sunday night, depending on plans we have with friends to go laugh at J.J. Abrams throwing a Hail Mary to save Star Wars.
Yeah.
Depending on when that happens, we will do a stream. Another one of those nights. I will update the Discord as we can cut
Yeah.
that out.
Cool. I'm not sure if I have time for one this week, but we'll see what happens the week of the new year. Next week I'm going to be in Asheville
There was a multiplayer game I wanted to play with you, but I can't remember it right now.
with me.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah.
mentioned the League of Legends thing.
No, it was something. It was something that I thought you would be interested in
Oh, okay.
more than League of Legends. I'm blanking right now.
All
I'll
right,
let
well,
you
if
know
you
if I
think of
can
it.
find it again.
Yeah.
It might have been Risk of Rain 2.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fun to play as a group.
Yeah.
It's like 3D.
I love the first one. Yeah, I'm interested to see what this is like, because
Yeah.
I love the first one, and it's weird to think of it as a 3D
Yeah,
thing
they
now.
moved it- yeah, they changed it so heavily. It's crazy.
I played it for 10 minutes and then got a refund because I didn't want to buy it until I had other people.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I'll let you know. Maybe there was also some sort of roguelike game. It was a multiplayer roguelike game.
There's a number of those going around.
It was actually one that someone mentioned for KrakenQuest. I mean, for the charity stream a while ago. Whatever. Who cares?
All right. Cool.
Alright.
Well then, until next time.
Bye.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
We'll see you in 2020.
Get the
Woo.
fuck out! I'm
Peace.
Also,
just
if anyone
kidding. Come
has-
back.
If anyone has ideas for Christmas presents for my family, please DM